local people, important issues. CBS 10 WILM's weekly focus on the Lower Cape Fear region. This is Byline Wilmington with your host, Don Ansell.
Welcome and a very good morning to you. Today, Titan Cement speaks out with our one-on-one interview with Bob Odom. He is the general manager for Titan's subsidiary, Carolinas Cement, who would build this country's proposed fourth largest cement plant in New Hanover County. Bob, we appreciate you coming in.
Thank you for having me, Don.
And nice to meet you. Actually, we did meet at a function. We didn't even realize it a while back. Right. Did Titan expect this level of resistance that's come about as a result of the proposed plant?
We really didn't. I think our Greek parents were primarily surprised. They have been welcomed. Titan is a Greek corporation. That's correct. And they have been welcomed wherever they are. And I think with our reputation in Roanoke and Pensacola, which is near Miami, we've done all the right things. We're good neighbors. We meet all the requirements, all the rules, regulations. So yes, it has been a surprise.
Had Titan known that, would it have altered the plans?
I would say no, we would not have. You know, we all make mistakes in maybe trying to get information out. Could we have done a little bit better job in getting some information out in a timely fashion? Possibly. But no, it's still a good project. It's still going to be good for the state of North Carolina.
Why do you think there's been so much opposition?
A lot of misinformation out there. You know, anything that you don't understand, you start thinking, okay, it's going to hurt me. There will be emissions, yes. We're going to, something like 99.9% effective in catching all our emissions coming out of that plant. We're going to meet all the rules, all the regulations. The regulations are getting stricter as we speak. And we've said time and time again that day one, when that plant is open, we're going to meet the regulations. Now, the regulations are in place, why? To protect the environment and protect the people.
The Stop Titan movement, as you know, suggests that there will be devastating environmental fallout and danger to human health if the plant is allowed to locate here. What do you say is the environmental impact with operating a plant like that?
Again, we will be meeting all the new regulations. You know, will there be some emissions? Yes, but the standards are set in such a way that there's such a high level, we won't even come close to those. They become stricter every day. EPA is coming up with new regulations for cement plants, and we're going to meet all those. And if we meet those, I'm saying we're not going to have a problem in the area. People will not even know that cement plant's there, Don. There was a cement plant there 25 years ago.
Not nearly the
size, and it was also, in its day, it was a good plant. But
the river in that the Northeast Cape Fear River, where that was located, is impaired, and with mercury and other toxins. And the speculation is it came from that plant, and it's still, I don't know how many years later, impaired.
Well, I think they ran a sample in 2006, and it was impaired. 70 rivers in North Carolina are impaired now. There's going to be another statement coming out soon that says every river in North Carolina is impaired, unfortunately.
Where does that come from?
A third of it is naturally occurring, and the other 2/3 could be man-made. But you wonder how much mercury...
So if they're naturally occurring, then every river is impaired, because if it's natural, then every river is impaired.
Well, I guess it's, and then how much is added by industry and whatnot too. But yeah, every industry, every river in North Carolina is basically mercury impaired, unfortunately.
Where does that come from?
Again, it's naturally occurring. Could be from that volcano in Iceland. A lot of volcanic activity that way. Some people, some long time ago, some industries probably put mercury into the river. But again, as things change, as people become more aware, as regulations change, people are much more cautious and cognizant of what they're doing around the river. Not just the river, though, the atmosphere also.
Yeah.
Anywhere we are.
How crucial were those $4.5 million public money incentives that, how important were those in Titan's decision to come here?
I'm glad you asked that question because there's a lot of misunderstanding about that incentive. First of all, it is a performance incentive. People think that New Hanover County has written Titan a check for $4.2 million.
And the other,
And the 300 is
from the state.
Is from the state. We have received no money from the state or New Hanover County. We won't receive any money until we build a plant, spend $450 million, and hire 160 employees. And then we'll be paying taxes, $2 million in taxes every year. For the first 7 years, we will get a grant back of $600,000 from that $2.2 million. That's how we come up with the $4.2 million. After 7 years, that $2.2 million goes right to New Hanover County.
What's your take on the level of support for the project from the governor's office with the changing of the guard from Easley to Purdue?
I think she is a jobs governor, and I think she understands the importance of jobs, but she understands that this is a large project, and I think she's letting all her people do their jobs, their various agencies, asking all the right questions, making sure this is a good fit for North Carolina, as we think it will be. But she supports jobs. If the project passes all the milestones, yeah, I think she's for it.
What? But the Easley run was there seemed to be more support from the Easley office, would you say?
That's when we applied for our air permit during the Easley term. Now, that was before my time. I can't say it's more support, but you know, I think we're still going through the process to get the plant built.
What part does politics play in all of this? How political is this issue? I mean, everybody's talking politics now because we're around election time. Is this a political issue?
It's become political, you know, and any political appointee, someone's got to think about jobs first of all, the economic benefit to a project. Then you also are thinking about the environment. You know, do they both fit? What good is it going to bring to the area? It has become too political, really. We ought to just let it work, let the staff people work, let it get through the process. If we meet all the milestones, if we can answer all the questions. We've owned the land since 1992. It's zoned heavy industrial.
So you bought the land
in 1992.
Titan bought the land prior to the incentives.
Absolutely.
What was the purpose of buying that land?
Sooner or later, we were going to put a cement plant there.
So the incentives, whether you got the incentives or not, you had planned to come to the area?
At some point in time. Titan is a large international company, but it's far away not the largest cement company. So if we're going to spend $450 million on a project, New Hanover County offered $4.2 million as a performance incentive. They say, yes, we want you here. Like everybody's got a little skin in the game.
But you had planned to come to the area prior to the incentives.
Sooner or later, but it may have made a difference. That played part of our decision to show that we will want it here.
We're going to take a short break. We'll come back and talk with the general manager of Carolina Cement, the Titan subsidiary, about SEPA, the State Environmental Policy Act, right after this.